Helped me set up my resume. So with that help, I was able to land a job within the first 4 months of attending school at MyComputerCareer.
A few weeks before graduation, though, I landed my first job as a Tier 1 technician with a large insurance company. And 6 months later, I was actually working as a Tier 2 technician with a significant pay raise. And kind of like my first job, they were also very impressed that I had so many certifications.
You have to look at what you want in life and where you're at. For me, MyComputerCareer was an easy choice because they offered me a better lifestyle that I really wanted, and it was the only place that would really give me that upper hand in life.
The folks at MyComputerCareer are very caring. They really care about our success in the IT industry, not just with certifications, but also with finding a career and really being happy with that choice.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. We are back for another episode this week, and we're lucky to discuss one of our favorite topics, which is student grad success. And today we get to hear from an Army veteran who transformed from military service to the civilian sector as an operations supervisor to a student in the Cyber Warrior program here at MyComputerCareer to now just landing a role in IT. So we love showcasing these stories because every story is unique. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing more from our guest and his experiences along the way. So welcome to the broadcast. Again, happy Friday, everybody. My cat in the background is already making noise and doing things he shouldn't be, so that's going to be great. Scott, thank you so much for joining us today on our live show. We're so happy to have you here.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, yeah. So here's a little bit about your background. Correct me if I'm wrong or anything. U.S. Army veteran and experienced, thank you for your service, by the way, an experienced operations supervisor with a proven track record in leadership, team management, and process optimization. Skilled in coordinating personnel resources, you're already like, nah, maybe. Daily operations to meet strict deadlines and mission requirements. Always a good thing to have. Recognized for strong problem solving, adaptability, and attention to detail in fast-paced environments. And you're currently transitioning into the IT field, but you did land that role. But you have a focus on leveraging military discipline, leadership experience, and technical aptitude to deliver innovative solutions and support organizational goals. And you have all of the CompTIA certifications here. I see A+, Net+, Security Plus, and CySA Plus certified, which is great. Okay, so what did I miss?
Nothing. That's about it. Served 4.5, 5 years in New York Air National Guard, doing electronics on planes. Then I decided that I wanted to go back active duty. So the Air Force doesn't take prior service. So I had to go into the Army, which I say had to, but I had a good time. And then I served 18 years in the Army. And it was a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And the person that connected us. Hello, Mason. Thank you so much for being here. We always appreciate it. Thank you, Mason. So let's hop into these questions. So again, you were just touching on this just a little bit. So you're a U.S. Army veteran, and you also have Air Force technical training in aircraft guidance and control systems. And that sounds super technical, way over my head. When did you first start thinking about that transition into the IT field?
I don't even know if I would consider the Air National Guard stuff IT. It was more electronics than it was information technology, autopilot, monitoring and testing systems, things like that. Honestly, back then, I was just trying to get somebody to pay for school, and then realized that the 1 year out of high school, I didn't really want to go back to school anymore.
Right.
Obviously, to my parents' disappointment and utter surprise that I didn't want to do that anymore. So then I bounced around for a while doing that. 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks during the summer, and then realized that I really didn't have a whole lot of skills that were transferable without paying a lot of money to go to school and get other certifications. So I went back active duty.
Yeah.
Back then, if I'd have known then what I know now, I would have gone into network administration or something like that. So I could have had all those years of experience doing it instead of being a door kicker. I enjoyed being a door kicker. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. It's a huge adrenaline rush, but there's not a whole lot of call for kicking doors in the civilian world.
Sure. Yeah.
Even as a police officer, you have to go to college. And it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky, and it's unfortunately still the concept of not going to college is still slightly stigmatized and societally. So it's unfortunate for people who just want to do something
I mean,
else.
honestly, I believe the trades are just as good, if not better, sometimes for people than going into college.
Mhm.
College just isn't for some people. And it wasn't for me when I was 19 years old. I didn't want to go to school anymore. I've been doing it for 12 years. I didn't want any more school. So I kind of got a trade, I guess, if you could consider being a combat person a trade. I went and did that instead. I tell my kids too, go to college. If you want to go to college, go to college. I'll do everything I can to get you there and to help you through it. If you don't, find something that you want to do, whether it's being a plumber, a construction worker, an electrician, a cook, whatever you want to do, pick something that you like doing.
Yeah. And it's hard at that age too to make that decision. You know, like what did I know at 18?
51 years old and I'm still not quite sure what I want to do with the rest of my life.
I know. I get it. I get it. So you had a solid career as this operations supervisor at Badger Daylighting, right? What made you decide to hit pause on that path and pursue that IT training? Let's dive into that a little bit more.
It was a great job. Don't get me wrong. Great pay, worked with some decent people. It just wasn't challenging. Intellectually challenging as a managing time thing, because it was 24/7. If somebody called, you picked up the phone, and that was the other part I didn't like.
Right.
I mean, I understand that there are positions in IT where you might get a call at 3:00 in the morning because somebody's network just hit the fan, and
Oh my God. Nope.
you know, I mean, it is what it is, but I just wasn't happy there anymore. And I talked to my boss, and we agreed that it would probably be better for me to go on and find different things. I've been thinking about doing something else for a while before my supervisor and I had to talk. And yeah, we just agreed that it was probably better for both parties if I moved on. So, and then I spent about a month and a half trying to find a different job as an operations supervisor. And the job market around here for that kind of stuff is horrible. There's a whole lot of construction, but there's also 3 times as many people that are qualified to do those jobs as there are jobs to do them.
Right.
So I saw an ad from MyCC and it's like, hey, why don't we give this a try and see what happens? I love computers. I'm a nerd, so why not?
Right. Well, it's perfectly segue into my next question was walk us through how you found MyComputerCareer and specifically the Cyber Warrior program. What made you kind of choose this route?
Honestly, YouTube. I was
YouTube?
scrolling through YouTube, either YouTube or TikTok or one of the social media platforms, and an ad for MyCC came up and clicked on the ad and started reading through the stuff and realized that it might be something. I love computers. I love farting around on them, and called my Veterans Administrative, my VA rep, and said, hey, what do we got to do to get this? Because I've already used all my GI Bill. I paid for my college with it, paid for a couple other schools with it. So, hey, how do we do this? And they got me hooked up with the VRNE, and away we went.
That's so interesting. I'm always so curious to hear how people found MyCC. I love that. Thanks, YouTube.
It's out there. The ads are everywhere.
Yeah, good. We do that on purpose.
My phone, and I'm like, hey, I've already graduated. I don't need ads anymore. Thanks.
I didn't hear that many.
Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Aaron, was that you?
I would say the 1 horse-sized duck, because 100 duck-sized horses, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
I'm getting really tired after like the 3rd one. So,
oh,
hey,
it's true. Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, I think 100 of them is excessive.
That's a lot.
100 of them is excessive. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm always so curious to hear because it's typically radio. I never heard a MyCC ad until I started working here, and somebody said that they found it on TikTok, which is great. I love that. I remember I took this job and then I heard an ad on the radio and I was like, oh my God, it's MyComputerCareer. My fiance Chris was like, yeah, I hear them all the time. It's like I've never noticed. Anyway, super interesting. Glad to hear it was social media, though. We love that. So my next question is actually phrased wrong because I said you're in the Cyber Warrior program, but you've graduated since then. What was, week one kind of like? Walk us through the Cyber Warrior program. Oh my gosh, you're having like flashbacks.
As Terrence and Mason like to say, it was like drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
We did 2 hours of get to know you stuff, and here, this is what the program's going to be like, and la da da da. And then it was straight into first lesson. And from then until last Wednesday when I graduated, it was sink or swim the whole time. Yeah. It's doable, but it's not easy. Anybody that tells you this course was easy is full of hooey. It's not easy, but it's definitely doable if you focus and commit yourself to finishing and doing the studying that you have to do. It's completely doable.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think anybody has said it was easy. They have had a similar reaction to you where they've been like, wow, that was a lot, but I'm so glad. It's almost like they feel so accomplished after the fact. They're like, I did it. I did it. I put in the work and I made it happen. Cause 12 weeks, that is a turnaround. So,
well, if you think about it, the amount of information that we go through in those 12 weeks is equivalent to like 18 months of college ish.
Yeah.
12 to 18 months of college, depending on where you're going. That's a lot. And there's not a lot of people that can sit for 9 hours a day, do lecture, do the videos, take the test, do the studying. And then after the 9 hours of class, then you've got 3, 4, 5 hours of studying that night to go over and over and over and over again to commit it all the memory so that you have that information at hand when you go and take the exam.
Right. Phew. Yeah. No easy feat. One thing about our Cyber Warrior program that is unique is you're learning alongside other veterans, which, a lot of people have spoken very positively about. What was that environment like? Did that make a difference?
Yes. I've found through work and a couple of the courses that I've taken, I don't want to disparage civilians. I really don't. But dealing with civilians after being in the military for so long is not easy.
Sure. Yeah.
Veterans, we have a certain way of talking. We have a way of dealing with each other that a lot of people that have never served will never understand. We're kind of harsh on each other, and we like to cut up, and we like to give each other a hard time about little things that really don't matter. Kind of like a bunch of brothers and sisters sitting around giving each other crap all day just because we can. And I know that in a class of veterans that 90% of people in there are going to be able to take it and give it back, and it's going to be okay. If I was in a civilian class or a predominantly civilian class, I would have had to watch what I said a whole lot more. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily profanity or anything like that, but we're used to having thick skin.
Sure.
And being able to take the jibes and all that stuff and give it right back, whereas a lot of civilians aren't. And I'm really appreciative that everybody in my class was a veteran.
Yeah.
It made it a whole lot. It made it more comfortable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad to hear that. So you've touched on this briefly when it comes to just the studying and the amount of hours put in and how intense that Cyber Warrior program is, especially in that first week. But every training program, no matter what, has its moments where things are going to get a little tough. I mean, what were some of those challenges that you faced and how did you push through them?
Trying to balance, as Terrence and Mason like to say, touching grass with sitting in front of the course, in front of the computer and going over the material over and over and over again. I'm a more hands-on learner than read and remember and understand type person. However, I knew that I needed to just sit and read the material and do it over and over again and retake the practice tests over and over and over again. Excuse me. So that it was there. You know what I mean? Kind of in that mental Rolodex, so I could pick it up and throw it on the computer at the exam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say balancing personal life which in all honesty, I kind of pushed most of the personal stuff to the side for those 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Had to just explain to people, no, I'm not coming out tonight because I have to study. I have to. This is important.
Yeah.
And if you can, like I said, if you can commit yourself to it, and either people are going to understand or they're not going to understand that it's important to you. And if they don't, then they don't. That's on them. That's not on you. And if you can commit yourself to it, put the time in, it's completely and utterly doable.
Yeah, absolutely. So you earned the world-class IT professional designation for being a top student in your cohort. Okay. Subtle brag. What was your approach that got you there? Besides, like, is it just what you were just saying, where it's like, okay, just nose to the grindstone type thing and head down?
I'm pretty old school when it comes to stuff. So it was put in the effort, put in the work, put your head down and just do it. Son, my son lives with me. He was very understanding. I think he actually kind of liked it because I wasn't up his behind all the time.
Yeah, right.
I was here studying. Friends, they understood that this was, well, most of them understood that this was something I just had to do, and it wasn't negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
Man, put the work in. It's like when you're trying to get fit, you just have to make the decision that you're going to do it. And once you've made that decision, nobody's going to tell you whether you are going to do it or not, because you're going to do it.
Yeah. I think that's the second time we've heard this, like, compared to like going to the gym, which I just love, because that's not something I put together until we started doing these. And yes, Austin, 100%. Take some serious dedication. Yeah, that's intense. And Mason, for those that I love, I will sacrifice. That's our mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much, guys, for joining. So we talked about in the beginning, you earned all 4 certifications during the program, the A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, and CySA Plus.
I guess your cat didn't like that being wherever it was.
No. Anyway, so which one was your favorite? Which one was your favorite? Did you have a favorite? Yes, it's always cat chaos here. Sorry, guys. I don't even know
Honestly,
what that was.
I liked Net Plus. It was hard. And
I was going to say, that's a hard one.
It is. It's probably the hardest one, other than I would say content-wise, Net Plus is harder. Abbreviations and acronyms wise, CySA is way harder. But I liked Net Plus. I like the precision of it. There's basically math, and I'm a math guy. I like black and white. And with Net Plus, you're right or you're wrong. There's no happy medium. There's no gray area. It's A or B. That's it. And I like that, and I enjoyed. This is going to sound weird. Most people aren't going to agree with me. I loved subnetting. I liked it.
Here come the comments. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, bring it on. I'm good with it. I know I'm weird. It's okay. But yeah, Net Plus was probably my favorite. CySA was probably, like I said, my least favorite. But again, by the time we got to CySA, we'd already been in class for 9 weeks. By the time you get there, you're kind of fried.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, oh my goodness, can we just do these 3 weeks and get this over with so I can stop staring at my screen all day?
Yeah.
But yeah, Net Plus was definitely my favorite.
True. That's funny. Yeah, everybody talks about how hard that one was, or how many times I had to take it or try and take it. And did you have an approach to your study method? Any tips for people watching that are taking these certifications or tackling?
Use ChatGPT, Claude, Google. What's the Google one? And whatever it is.
I don't know. I think
have it just something like give me five multiple choice questions in a CompTIA style based on whatever. Do not give me the answers until after, or don't tell me what the correct answer is until after I've made my choice. That helps a lot because you can go through the questions in the practice exams over and over and over again, but it's the same questions. It's the same like 200 questions on each subject, and that's it. If you go through AI, they'll come up with new ones each time, and you can make them harder, you can make them easier, you can make them more detailed, more whatever. And it helps train your brain with the information, not just trying to take the test, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest approach. And of course, doing the practice exams and redoing the finals until I had them pretty much memorized.
I'm sorry, my cats are just
You're
screaming.
fine.
I apologize. That's I never even thought about that. That is so smart.
It wasn't my idea.
Oh,
One of the actually, I think it was Terrence that told us, dude, use the AI functions to your benefit. They can help. So that's
interesting.
That's what I did.
I like that. Yeah. Huh. That's a good note right there. So you had. Oh wait, where am I at? Okay, study tips. Hey, that's trademarked. Talk about skills now. I wanted to make sure I was on the right question. Talking about skills, how were some of those military skills you learned in the military transferable? I guess specifically like your technical training in the Air Force, working on some of these aircraft systems. Did those transfer over into the Cyber Warrior program at all?
To a point. I mean, electronics is electronics. It is
Sure.
what it is. Hard drive's a hard drive. RAM's RAM, CPU. It doesn't matter what color, shape, or size it is. So that kind of helped with A+. I think more I'm going to use a military euphemism, the ability to embrace the suck and just suck it up until you're done. That helped, I think, more than any other previous training. Just knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and the amount of work that you have to put into it is doable.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. But yeah, doing the electronics and the guidance and control, it helped because I already had a kind of a foundation of how electronic components work and how they talk to each other. So that might have made it a little bit easier for me, but
that probably helps. But still, yeah,
the ability to embrace the suck was the biggest skill that I had that made it, I wouldn't say easy, but made it less difficult.
Yeah. Aaron, I'm going to let my cat out really quick. He's driving me crazy. 1 second. Be right back, Scott.
Okay.
I'll insert Jeopardy music here. See if I can play that right now.
It is.
I had a fire away insert Jeopardy music banner, but it was just easier to come on and say it.
Thanks.
By the way, nobody can hear the cat at all. You
really?
Can hear it. You're distracted by it, but we can't hear it. So there's
my God.
Jumping on the
wailing.
Yeah. So keep it up. Everyone's doing a good job.
You did hear the crash in the closet though.
Yeah,
so
the crash was funny. Continue the discussion. I like the who. There were a lot of follow-ups about the horse and the horse conversation. So we'll get back to that.
Yeah, you threw me off with that one. That one I was like, what are we talking about? Okay.
Trying to get you back on screen. Starting to refocus away from cats. All right.
Cats are outside now. Okay, we're back. So moving to now where you're currently at, you've landed this, IT role. You accepted a gig as a field tech, and is it just HCL tech, or is there like okay? Tell us about working with not only the career services and MyComputerCareer in that process, but what kind of support were you able to get from that, and the work that you still had to do to land this as well. Just talk to us through that whole experience for us.
Well, first off, I'd like to big shout out to Samantha Leone. She is amazing. I can write, but I'm not a great writer. I way too many years in the Army reading Army manuals and stuff. And when I type out stuff, it sounds like UG type words. Mm-hmm. So I gave my resume to Sam. She had it for like 6 hours. And she sent it back professional, polished, looked good. It was beautiful. And she was always there. Every time I sent her an email, every time I sent her a text message or something, hey, I've got a question about A, within an hour, I had a response. So big shout out to her. Honestly, I think if I remember correctly, it was a connect on LinkedIn, because I'm actually going through a company called K-Tech Technological Solutions or something like that. They're a temp to hire service who is contracted to HCL Tech to work on the Facebook Meta project.
Oh, okay.
So they're building a new data center in Temple, which is about 20 minutes from me.
Oh, really?
HCL is running the project to install all the servers and the fiber optics inside the data center. And then K-Tech contracts for them to find talent to do this. And then my recruiter got a hold of me. I sent him my resume. We did a little phone interview. Literally like 5 minutes. It was probably the strangest phone interview I've ever had. And then he sent my stuff over to HCL. I had a video conference interview with the hiring manager. And apparently it went pretty good because I'm supposed to start my training in a week.
There we go.
So
that's awesome.
I'm pretty
we need a Sam button, or like, in the top corner. How many times Sam has been mentioned in the live show? Love Samantha. We get a shout out all the time. Oh, interesting.
I wasn't the oldest in the class. There was one person that I know for a fact was older than me, possibly two, and there were 5 or 6 of us that were relatively the same age.
I was about to say, so unfortunately, StreamYard and LinkedIn don't always get along, and it just says LinkedIn user sometimes. It doesn't actually say the culprit of who asks questions like that, so that would be Jacob. Thank you, Jacob.
Jacob Sturgeon.
Yes.
Hi, Jake. How you doing, buddy?
I was reading the question. I was like, oh, advantages, disadvantages. Yeah. And then I kept reading. I was like, who is this?
And see, that goes back to having a class full of veterans.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that we would do during class when we probably shouldn't have been doing it during class. But that's the kind of things that would keep it interesting and keep you focused and engaged and just messing with each other.
Oh, I'm sure Mason hated it.
Oh, no, he loved it. He'd jump in with us every now and again and fire right back. It was awesome.
Mason's like, this is how you do it, guys.
This is the gold standard of talking crap.
Yeah, right. Here, this is how you do it. That's awesome. Well, congrats on landing that job. That's super cool. Shout out again to Samantha. We're gonna have a Samantha button. We're gonna add that to the next live show. But I'd love to hear that, because that's something that we just love to brag about with MyCC. And the people who want to, come to this program is just like, hey, man, we've got a career services team that is here for you for life. If you need it, help out with that LinkedIn page. Because I don't know about you guys. I work in social media. LinkedIn is the bane of my existence. I cannot stand LinkedIn. So we got people that help you out with that. Resume, mock interviews. Did you do a lot of mock interviews, or was that 5-minute phone call like the first one? And you're like, this was weird.
So Sam sent me this like 5-page document. Well, actually 2 of them. One was, here's some like practice questions, some tips on interviewing, some, they may ask this and how are you going to respond? And we went over it, I think twice in our one-on-ones in class. And then the other one was just a list of links to companies' career page. And there must have been 250 links. And I just spent like 4 days after class going through each one link by link and finding if they were anywhere near me, if they had any jobs that I qualified for. And it was very helpful, because honestly, 90% of the time you spend your time on LinkedIn or Indeed or Glassdoor, those are okay. But if you have somebody that knows people on the inside, and you can get the kind of inside skinny on what's going on, way, way, way better.
Yeah. Interesting. That's a lot. There's a lot of resources, folks. Well, that's a great segue into the next question, which I guess is my last one. For veterans out there who are on the fence about making the jump into the IT field, would you tell them about the Cyber Warrior program?
Do it. Go talk to the VA, get your money squared away. It's a little bit of a headache at first trying to get everybody talking and jiving from the VA to MyCC and all of that stuff, but do it. It's well worth it. I think I was lucky with the class that I got and the instructors that I had. We had a couple of substitute instructors that were good, but they weren't Mason and Terrence. And I'm not throwing shade. That's just how I feel about it. I was lucky with the people in my class. We all got along really well. We helped each other quite a bit in our study time and offline after school quite a bit. Wow, I really went down the rabbit hole on that one. Sorry. Yeah, do it. Take the jump, take the leap. At the very least, you'll get your certifications, and who can't use more little titles after their name when they put their sign a email.
It looks cool.
I mean, I don't know if I don't do that. But do it. It's at the very least, it's some certifications that you can use in another career field. IT is never going away, ever. Even if AI takes over, IT's still not going away. Somebody has to program the AI and shut them down when they turn into Skynet.
They start coming after us. Yeah. Somebody's going to need to pull the plug.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to yank that power cord.
Yeah.
Start World War IV or whatever.
You're right at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely do it. It's a great experience. If you're a nerd in any way, shape, or form, and you like computers, can't hurt anything.
Do it. Do it, Anakin.
Like Nike said, just do it.
Just do it. Love it. This is awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Scott, for sure. And we've got your LinkedIn here. We got that link. We'll have people connect with you. But we really appreciate your time here on this Friday, and best of luck with this new endeavor. It's exciting.
Yeah. I'm very excited to get out there and start doing IT stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Scott. We got a couple comments saying thank you. Thank you. Yes. We really appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this Friday. And everybody have a safe, fun weekend. Scott, did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Have everything?
I hit everything.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sweet. Love it. Now my dog's wandering around. All right. I'm going to need it. I got to tend to my animal farm.
Over there.
There's a lot of animals in this house. Yeah. I am what they call a sucker when I see an animal in need. And suddenly I have a million animals.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you guys again. We will be here next week. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. Thank you again. And thank you, Mason, for helping us out and getting our guest here. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.